Jamila, and I'm here with Miss Latoya Bonner. She is the owner of Bonner Consulting Services. Awesome. I'm glad that you're here with me.
Thank you.
Right now. I'm so glad to be doing this because it's awesome for you to be a business owner.
Thank you.
And so how did you get to this point?
Okay, so my background is I went to school. When I went to college, I finished my degree in finance, business finance, and then I went on to graduate school where I obtained an MBA in forensic accounting. And that set me up to become a certified fraud examiner. So I worked for 16 years in corporate America. Past 2.5 years that I was in corporate America, I worked as an accountant. Pretty stressful job. Pretty stressful job. But I decided to really become a business owner mainly from people that I built relationship with on social media.
Okay.
So people I hadn't even met is really what pushed me to really even look into entrepreneurship. A lot of them were entrepreneurs already, doing relatively well financially from what it seemed. And so knowing the money and time that I had invested into my education, and you got these people, you know, they entrepreneurs and they living freely and they making way more money than me, I'm looking like, somebody ain't living right. And I think it's me.
Okay.
And so I really, you know, started to pick their brains and see kind of what they were doing with their businesses. And they really just kind of gave me that push, that motivation. And so one day I had a friend reach out to me about possibly partnering with a tax business.
Okay.
And so she was like, I'm in a different city, so you would have to manage it. I need for you to, you know, find the place, get the employees and all that type of stuff and get back with me. And so I started doing that. I was super excited, you know, considering my background in finance and stuff. So I was very excited about it. And I never talked to her again.
Wow.
And so I would try to call her. She wouldn't answer. And I'm like, where are you? I'm trying to get this thing going.
Yeah.
And so my husband was like, Toya, you have already done all the work. You really don't need her. You've already done it all. Just go for it.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. We went ahead and went for it without her. And so of course we had our own brand because she was more interested in doing like a franchise type thing.
Okay.
But I had already established my own name, my own brand, my own business. And so we just decided to go ahead and go with that. And so a few months into the business opening and everything like that, she reached out to me and was like, so how's your tax business going? And I said, it's going great. Thanks for asking. And I was like, but where did you go? Like, we were supposed to be doing this together. She said, no, my only job was to plant the seed.
Stop.
She said that was my only job was to plant the seed. I knew you'd do well.
What?
And that's how that went.
That's awesome.
It is.
That's
awesome. She's still, and that's just somebody I met through social media. We were on another venture together.
Yeah.
She was my mentor in another business. She's still absolutely great. But this was something totally different. But I've only met her in real life twice, maybe. She lives in Chicago. And of course, being in Chattanooga, I mean, we are hours apart. But she is really the person who birthed all of this.
Oh my goodness. You just never know who you'll meet and what their purpose is for you. Even when you don't have all the answers. So that's something right there. Like sometimes you don't have to have all the answers.
You don't. You just have to go. It's one thing that I've learned with this is that fear isn't real. It's only a figment of your imagination, right?
Okay.
And so it can only really change your course or affect you if you allow it to.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to do stuff scared.
Okay.
Sometimes you just don't know what you're doing. But if you feel that God has given you that, God has placed that in you, just be obedient and do it. Because so many times, especially even at my desk, I would be thinking, you know, I'm scared, but what could possibly become of this?
Right.
And you think of all the great things that could become of it. And then you say the opposite side is, well, what if I don't do it? Now, if I don't do it, I'll be still sitting at this desk or at another desk somewhere wondering what could have possibly happened. I would rather try it and see what happened,
right,
than to not try it, but constantly wonder what could have possibly happened.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
You don't know until you try.
You don't.
I mean, the worst thing you can hear is what? No.
No.
And it's not always
the worst thing, though. Correct. Sometimes your no's, they set you up for the best yes you've ever received. Sometimes even broken relationships. Sometimes even a subtraction. Sometimes the subtraction could lead to multiplication.
Okay.
So you have to think about all of that, and entrepreneurship has really taught me that, to where things don't always necessarily work out the way that you thought they were going to work out. You could lose some people you wanted to bring with you, and it's just your spirits ain't in line with one another.
Right.
You know, they're not going where you're trying to go. Everybody's not meant to go the whole way with you.
Right.
And so you have to accept that sometimes and be willing to say, you know what?
Step out.
We still got to move on. The party don't stop just because you left.
Exactly.
We have to keep it moving. So you can't be afraid of that. That's another thing I've learned too. My heart has been broken in this by some people who are dear to me. But you can't be in your feelings.
Nope.
Cry for like 5 minutes and move on. The business has to keep going on.
Yeah, it does.
Because the business is bigger than individuals. It's bigger than me.
Yeah.
The people that you're trying to impact, the lives that you're trying to change, you know, it's bigger than just you. So you learn all these lessons while you're in entrepreneurship that you don't necessarily learn while you're working for someone else.
Right.
You have to, you know, you're human, so you have feelings. You cry, you laugh, you get excited, you get angry. All of those emotions come in, but you have to learn how to channel them. You have to know, for me, I'm bigger than just Toya.
Yeah.
I'm not just Toya the person no more. I'm the face of Bonner Consulting Services.
Right.
And so I have to conduct myself that way.
Right.
So when it comes to your public image, when it comes to social media image, all of those things, you have a brand and a business to protect.
Yes.
Make sure everything you're doing is what you want
to project.
Yeah, what you want to project. Yeah. It don't mean being fake.
Exactly.
It just means when you want to go off, when you want to be petty, when you want to say some stuff, when you want to lash out, when you having a bad day, all this, so you have to keep all that in mind. I could possibly be losing business if I say this.
Exactly.
And considering I don't get paid by, you know, a company, I have to figure out how to bring my own money in. And so every client matters.
Yes.
It all matters. So that's just
sense.
Lessons that you learn.
If you think about it, though, the person that started the corporations that people are working for have been there too.
Correct.
They had to step out on a limb. Correct. They had to lose some things. They had to take risks. They had to get their heart broken sometimes. Correct. They had to hear no several times.
A lot of times,
be rejected. You know what I'm saying? But look where they are now.
Yeah, you can't. You can't, even with the no's. You can't take it personal. Every no is not a personal attack against you. It's sometimes you just not a good fit. And you even learn that even with clients. Yes. Every client is not your client. I would prefer not to deal with people who just gonna worry me to death and do all that stuff, because I should be charging you for worrying me, but I can't. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you want to have the right type of client for whatever business you in. Sometimes it's just not worth it. It's not worth the headache. It's times where you do have to end a relationship with a client. Listen, I love you, but we can't do business together. Yeah. And it's some folk, especially if you have, like, just say family or something like that. Thank God I've never had this happen. But even with family, sometimes you may have to say, I don't think it's a good idea for us to do business together. Yeah. Because you may know the person. Yeah, you don't want to mess up the relationship that you have outside of business. Exactly. So you have to have the mindset to know what's a good connection and what's not. And even so with tax preparation, it's a little different, just simply because most of the time you once a year. Okay. But in a situation where you may get audited or something like that, that relationship will, you know, come on as the year, you know, progresses. So you have to say, I'm willing to deal with this person, but you have to say no. You have to know, everybody may not like you. It's not about you not being a good fit for you. Sometimes they don't feel a connection with you, and you can't let that mess you up. It's business.
Exactly.
It's business.
Exactly.
And so just like how, you may go to this gas station one day and another gas station next week. It ain't nothing personal with the other gas station. You just went to this one.
Right.
And so you can't take it personal. Everybody's a free moral agent and go wherever they please.
Right.
So you can't take the rejection or the no or the I'm not interested. You can't take it personal. Right. You just have to say thank you and move on.
Right.
Because you'll eventually get a yes.
Yeah.
And that yes really could be
what's going to make the difference.
That's going to change it all.
Exactly. But you don't just offer tax services. What other services?
So we do tax preparation for individuals. So even if you are a business owner, whatever, hairstylist, daycares, anything like that, we prepare taxes for that.
Okay.
And we also offer bookkeeping as well.
Okay. So accounting services.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And so what advice would you give to somebody else that is looking to start a business? You already gave us some good nuggets and they kind of know what to expect. But as far as on the business end,
the best piece of advice that I can give somebody that's interested in starting a business is make sure you handle the business of the business.
Okay.
Sometimes we can get so caught up in our gift, our skill, and our ability that we neglect the stuff that can determine whether our business opens or closes.
Okay.
So when I say that, I mean make sure you got your licenses. Make sure you have whatever insurance you need to protect yourself, because people will try to sue you.
Yes.
They don't need a reason. Some people are just sue happy. That's what they'll do. If they see a window for them to try to get some money, they're going for it. Point blank period. So you have to make sure first and foremost that you protect yourself, because if you don't, it could cost you not just your business. If you're a situation where you're a sole proprietor, it could cost you your house. It could cost you your bank accounts. It could cost you everything you've worked your life for. So make sure that your business structure is good. Make sure you got your licenses. Make sure you handle the business of the business. The next best thing I would say is which is probably should be first, is find you a mentor. Find someone who's already doing it. That's willing to take you under their wing and give you real life experiences. It's amazing. When I share certain situations with people, how they'll say, I went through the same thing. Let's do lunch. Let's talk.
Yeah.
And you find out you're not the only one. They were once where you were, and they don't want to see someone else make the same mistakes that they've made. I love the way the kind of climate is now when you look at entrepreneurship. You don't have a lot of people now that's trying to hoard all the information and be stingy, and they want to be the only one winning.
Right.
I have met a lot of people in this season that have been so willing to help me genuinely. Not expecting anything in return. Right. They just want to see me win. And they're mature enough to understand that it's enough out here for all of us.
Yes.
You can't have it, even if you wanted it all. You can't handle it all. You can't have all the business.
That's
true. So even if you wanted all the business, you can't handle all the business. When you look at nail shops, hair salons, when you look at doctor's offices, attorney's office, all of them have their fair share of business. And they're all, doing relatively well for what they can handle. So it's enough. And so when you meet a real mentor or find someone, make sure that they have that spirit where they genuinely want to see you win. Yeah. But make sure that they're also successful in whatever industry that they're in. Sure. Most of the rules are the same. Most of the lessons, regardless of the industry, is the same. Now, you may want to find someone, when you're talking about licenses and stuff like that, that is specifically doing what you're doing. Right. But I think the biggest thing is connecting with someone who knows more than you. Even as an entrepreneur, sometimes you can have this boss mentality. I'm the boss. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Yeah. I think I know it all. But you have to flip your mindset sometimes to say, we're going to go from boss to student.
You can always be better.
We need to go from boss to student. Yeah. And I need to learn because I don't know it all. I just started. So if this person got 15 years of experience, clearly they've been in business 15 years. Right. Because they know what they're doing. I need to sit at their feet and I need to learn. So you can't, in your little space, you can be the boss. That's fine. Yeah. It's fine in your little space. Right. But you also need to know none of us are above learning more. Exactly. All of us have room for growth. You have to make sure that you stay up to date with the latest and greatest of whatever is going on in your industry. Right. Because otherwise you'll find yourself becoming obsolete. Yeah. You left behind.
And things change so rapidly.
Every day.
All the time. Yeah.
Every day. Even just in the time frame that I've been in business, to see how many things have changed, to see what we offered in 2017 versus what we offered in 2018, and then as 2019 comes along. So you have developments, you have new things. So you don't want, sometimes sticking to what you've been doing, but it still works, you know. But there also are better ways to do stuff. And when I tell you, people will pay for convenience.
Yeah, they will.
They don't, if they don't have to come here, they won't.
Oh yeah, if they can do it online.
If they can do it online, if they can do it, they want that. You mean to tell me I don't have to step a foot in there at all? They don't even care how much you charge them. They'll pay because they don't have to come in here. So you have to make sure you stay up to date with all the options. Absolutely. You in 2018, there is no way that you can just be technology ignorant or illiterate. You can't. You're not going to make it.
Everything's done.
As a business owner, you are not going to make it. When it comes to appointments, when it comes to, like in my profession, we have apps, we have web-based stuff, we have emails where you can literally do someone's returns 100% electronically. They never have to step foot in your office. Imagine how many people would love that. They may have kids, they may be in school, their work schedule may not allow for, you know, schedules don't ever mix up, you know, mix and y'all can get together. So if they're able to do that online, it's like, man, it's just a matter of me uploading my documents. You do everything, run the numbers by me, you send a link to me for me to review it, and then I can sign it from my cell phone. People love it.
Oh yeah. There's an app for everything now.
Yeah. And so when you're able to do that, it's easier for you because you don't have them kind of sitting in your face. How long is this going to take? And I'm on a tight schedule or whatever, if it's something that may be complicated. So you can work at your own pace and then, you know, they can sign it or whatever. So they don't have to worry about when am I going to get in? Am I going to meet this deadline? Whatever. And so it's easier for both parties.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, definitely. Staying up to date. So what do people need to know that are filing their taxes now, more on the taxing side? What are people that file their taxes what would they might not know that they need to know?
One thing I think, especially going into this upcoming tax season, a lot of the rules have changed. When the tax reform was approved, a lot of the things that we know and what we were used to and have become accustomed to, a lot of those rules changed. As far as I know, up to this point, I'm still waiting on the finalization. You have to kind of stay up to it with the IRS, because I think every tax professional at this point, regardless how many years experience you have, we often have to relearn the same thing. Everyone is like a new slate.
The forms and everything.
You're gonna have to learn it all. And so for me personally, I feel no one really has an advantage coming up into this new tax season. Because the rules changed for everybody. And so we all have to learn it. And so I think people need to be very careful this tax season. Even people that are used to doing their own taxes. Like if you're not a professional, I would at least say consult.
Especially business owners, I would think, with the write-offs and everything.
Because a lot of that stuff did change. I would say consult a professional. Even if you just going in to do a consultation, do your numbers and then let them do your numbers and see if there's any variations And so you could see, you know, maybe it is best that I consult with a professional. I had several clients like that this past tax season that didn't know certain things that they could, you know, write off and stuff like that. And it saved them money and actually brought them back more money. They had been doing taxes on their own and left out a lot of stuff and missed a lot. You know, and we ain't talking about fluke stuff. We ain't talking about fake stuff. We talking about real expenses because you have a real business and this is what's going on. And so I think sometimes too, people are so afraid of audits and things like that. What you have to understand with audits, the IRS is not trying to really put you in jail like that. They just want to make sure what you put on your return is legit.
Exactly.
And so if it's legit, you ain't got no problem.
Yeah.
Show them what you need to know, and it's like, okay, God bless, have a nice day.
Yeah.
You know, so I think you hear the word
not the monster
audit
that people think it is.
It is not.
Okay.
It's just like an audit. If you working at your job and you have a desk audit, what are they doing? They're coming to make sure your pens are in the right place. You filed stuff correctly. We're just checking that the rules that we've set for are being adhered to. As long as they're being adhered to, you good. We finish your audit. Have a nice day. So the IRS is the same way. I know those letters IRS are very scary. They're scary to me too. They're not necessarily my best friend. But as long as you're doing everything the way you're supposed to be doing them, you should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good. I'm so glad that you sat down with me and talked to me about your business.
Honored.
I'm so glad that you were able to get established and you met the right people.
Yeah.
That's always awesome.
Yeah. It is. One thing I've learned too, and I think I told you this before, is not being afraid to open up to new people, even people that you've never met in real life. A lot of my best business advice has come from friends that I've met through Facebook, through Instagram, to give me so many valuable nuggets that help me as a business owner. And then when I have the people that I do have here in Chattanooga that have poured into me just with the experience and being transparent, that's the biggest thing, is transparency.
Yeah.
Because being in business for so many years, you go through some stuff. Every day is not a good day.
Right.
You have some days where you just want to shut down and say, you know what, I just don't think I really want to do this anymore. Maybe the Lord did not call me for this. Maybe he did not. But you dust yourself off. You know, you hear somebody else's story who says, you know what, I dealt with a similar situation and I got through it. Just hang in there.
May have been worse.
Yeah. And a lot of times stuff could happen, and had you held on, it would have been worse. But sometimes you have to learn the power in letting go.
Yeah.
Not holding on to what you feel like this has to be there. And it's just like people in life. Sometimes you got to let some people go. Yeah. And it may hurt because you may really like them. But it's not good for business. You have to think about your business.